At the drinking water treatment plant, water is cleaned. A typical treatment plant for surface water might include the following steps. Step 1. Screening and primary sedimentation. The raw water will be screened to remove suspended debris and allow grit and other particles to settle out by gravity. Step 2. Coagulation and Flocculation. In this part of the water purification process, chemicals called coagulants are added to the raw water. The coagulants are then slowly mixed and act like magnets to make small particles in the water form into large clumps called floc. Step 3. Sedimentation. Next, the water is moved to the sedimentation basin, where the water moves very slowly and the floc settles to the bottom of the tanks, and the clean water moves to the next step of the process. Step 4. Filtration. Once the floc is removed, the water is filtered through a sand filter. All the particles are removed to make the water clear. Step 5. Disinfection. The last step in the treatment process is disinfection. The treated water is then injected with chemicals to inactive any remaining bacteria and viruses. Examples of a surface water treatment plant in Texas include the City of Houston Northeast Water Purification Plant. Another example of a surface water treatment plant is the City of Sugar Land Surface Water Treatment Plant.
We are standing at the site of the City of Houston's Northeast Water Purification Plant. As you can see, Lake Houston is in the background. Planning of this began over 50 years ago. This project is actually the largest project to date in the nation. This project is going to supply water to Harris County and will be able to supply 2 million people in 2023, and it will supply water for generations to come.
This construction project is exciting because it's the largest expansion project in the world. It's over $1.5 billion, and it's ultimately going to provide us with an additional 320 million gallons of water a day. There's a lot of people involved in this project. There's folks that are scientists and engineers and skilled trade workers and electricians and mechanics. So it's exciting to see the kind of diversity of skill sets of people that have come together to deliver this project.
Where does water go once you have finished using it?
Water that has been used for showers, washing your hands, flushing your toilet, and washing your dishes is called wastewater or sewage. It leaves your house and goes through a series of pipes, taking it to a treatment plant that cleans the water before it is reused or returned back to the environment. A typical water reclamation plant might include the following steps. Step 1. Screening and grit chamber. The wastewater brought into the treatment plant will be screened to remove large debris and grit. Step 2. Aeration Basin. In this part of the wastewater treatment process, bubblers are used to add oxygen to the tank, and microorganisms are used to eat the organic material found in sewage.
This is our aeration basin. This is where oxidation happens, where the bugs eat all the organic material. They feed and get really fat and happy, and we try to get rid of as much organic material.
Step 3. Clarifiers. Next, the treated wastewater is moved to round circular basins called clarifiers, where the microorganisms settle out to the bottom and clean water flows over the top of the weir located on the outer edge of the clarifier.
The clarifiers are meant to separate sludge from clear water, what we call an effluent. The sludge is pulled back to the plant and goes back through the process again. With that, we use some of that to go back and reseed the head of the plant, and then we use the rest of that to we get rid of it. We run it through our belt filter presses, and we send the finished product to the landfills.
Step 4. Disinfection. The treated water flows into the contact basin where chemicals are added to kill any remaining bacteria.
These are our chlorine contact basins. What happens here is chlorine is introduced to kill any bacteria or any waterborne pathogens. What we really have, the most important thing is a 20-minute detention time. So that means once chlorine is introduced, that the chlorine, before it leaves and is neutralized by sodium bisulfite, that it sits in here and it mixes for 20 minutes. With that 20 minutes, it kills all waterborne pathogens.
Once wastewater has been treated, it can be discharged to a receiving water body, or it can be reused for another purpose, at which point it becomes reclaimed water. One example of a wastewater treatment plant in Texas is the City of Houston Beltway Wastewater Treatment Plant.